Hey everybody, welcome back in the building. As you can see, this is just something I didn't quite understand. I did not understand what's going on today, so I hope everybody's doing well in the building. This is a spontaneous live again, but guys, Alexander Isak was not in Newcastle squad today for their friendly against Celtic, which they lost 4-0 by the way. But that's not the main talking point. Like there were other main players, important players like Joe Linton that weren't part of that squad. So the initial reports were just saying, they're just being careful with his minutes, to not overplay him too much, just being careful with that. But what's very strange is post-match, Eddie Howe, obviously, who's Newcastle's manager, was asked on his absence today at Celtic, and his comments are very strange. Very, very strange. So let me know what you guys think in the building. Let me know, but I'm going to read out some of those comments for you guys right now, okay? So look, what he said initially was, this is the first one, you guys. So he said, quote, "It was my decision. I decided to send him home due to the speculation around him. The last thing he wanted was to be sat in the stand watching. That wasn't fair to him. But I'm confident he will be a Newcastle player come the end of the window." See, you guys, this is just what I don't understand. If Alexander Isak, right, if he was so comfortable and confident about staying at Newcastle, then why should speculation be the reason that he can't at least be on the bench and be part of the squad? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Because what I mean is, top players, there's going to be speculation around them all the time. Like Alexander Isak, there's going to be so many clubs that are interested. So just a bit of speculation, and you're telling me that's why he stayed at home? And let me show you guys, this isn't the only thing. There's more. So he also said, "It's difficult for me to give 100% clarity on any player. Alex is happy at Newcastle. He loves the players, the staff, the team. I'm confident he'll be here at the start of the season." But here's for me where it gets the strangest, okay? Here, as you can see, let me go down a little bit. You guys should be able to see this. Yeah. So guys, you see right here, he said, "I've had discussions with him, but that's not abnormal. I respect a player's career and how short it is. Alex has been really good. He's trained really well, and I realize there will be noise around him." Again, why is he saying, "I respect a player's career and how short it is"? Like, bro, he's 25. Like, why are you saying now that a player's career is short? Do you get what I'm saying? To me, that also sounds strange. "I respect a player's career and how short it is. It was my decision." He traveled back to Glasgow. He decided to stay home due to the speculation around him. Now, guys, I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry, but you cannot tell me that these aren't strange comments from Eddie Howe. Like I said, or maybe his head is turned as a manager. I'm not so sure what's going on. I'm not so sure. He came to the storm. But guys, what do you make of this? Is it an overreaction? Is it an overreaction to say this after these few comments? What do you guys think? Mo Salah, nice to see you in the building. Liverpool channel, nice to see you in the building too. Just what I personally think is this is a sign that it's getting to Isak's head. Because like I said, if just a bit of speculation means that you can't be part of the squad, at least on the bench, that it's too overwhelming, something's in the head. Something's in the head. And if something's in the head, you guys, then I think it can be related to us putting pressure on Newcastle and saying that he's our main target. Because if that's what it is, you guys, then I think this is one to look out for. I think there's also a real reason why the main journals haven't shut down the fact that we're no longer in the race for him. Fabrizio could have easily said, "Oh, Liverpool are moving on from Alexander Isak," but it was literally last night. Yeah, I think here. Let me show you guys. Last night, Fabrizio Romano. This was from his YouTube channel. He said that Liverpool is ready to sign Isak if Newcastle change their mind. But in my opinion, it's not just if Newcastle changed their mind. I think it's also if Alexander Isak makes it clear that his head is turned, that he's not happy to stay at Newcastle, that he wants to move. And maybe, just maybe, that's not just him handing a transfer request, more so him saying, I'm going to be unhappy if I'm forced to stay at Newcastle, if that makes sense. You know? Tony says, I can't see this Isak deal happening myself. That's what I would think, Tony, too, but it seems like we have the money for it. All the most reliable journals are saying we have the money for it. That we see him as being that good of a player, that we have the money. So if we have the money ready and the player becomes unhappy, as in he wants the Liverpool move, then I think it happens. That's what I'm saying. And I just find these quotes to be very strange. You guys know what I'm saying? Helpful Viper says, I'm going to the games against Bilbao in preseason and the Sunderland versus Liverpool match in the league. That's sick, Helpful Viper. I'm buzzing for you. Alyssa, I really want to sign him too. Planet Ball says, I don't see it happening this season, Leo. The 90th minute from Canada. Big up in the building. Nice to see you. What's good? Leo from Morocco. I'm in Argentina on holiday. Ooh, nice. But yeah, guys, let me know in the building what you make of these quotes, or do you think it's an overreaction to be saying that this means anything? James says, but both options are good. Liverpool should go for any option. The main target is always good, versatile, and a good finisher. Leo, Isak or Ekitike? Alyssa, obviously, Isak is the dream because he's Premier League proven, and I think he would be a difference maker for match week 1. Whereas Hugo Ekitike is more of a project player because he hasn't consistently done it. He hasn't done it in the Premier League. So there's all of those parts of his game that he's going to need time to adapt to, you know? So of course Isak, but like I said, if it's Hugo Ekitike, I would back it 1,000%. I would back it, you know? Chris, yeah, like I was saying, my thoughts is that this could mean something unless Eddie Howe's head is completely turned and he doesn't know how to speak to the media. But these are just very strange quotes in my opinion. They're very strange quotes. Turbo says Isak is better than Hugo. I mean, like I said, you can't compare them because Hugo is younger as well, you know? Hi from America. Your mom is Icelandic? No way, Alyssa. No way. So did you did you ever live in Iceland, Alyssa? That's crazy. So you're also half Icelandic. Do you think that Isak is worth 120 million? Yes, I think he's worth 120 million. I think he is. I mean, if Isak wants to go, says Mo Salah. Yo, Mouse, nice to see you in the building. What's good? Has the potential to become... I think Ekitike has the potential to become world class, but I could also say that about a lot of young players, you know, whereas I think Isak pretty much is world class already. You know what I mean? That's the big difference, I think, between the two, you know? Your guy, thank you very much. Guys, for those of you in the building that haven't checked out the new channel, it would mean a whole lot if you guys subscribed and showed some love over there. It's called Leo's Goals Free Flow. I pinned the comment for the second channel. For those of you that haven't already, it would really mean a lot. And actually, the video I did on today was on Alexander Isak, and I did that video before these quotes dropped. So maybe I saw it before happening, but nah, I'm really bad speaking the language. Same, Alyssa, because I never practice. I didn't know you were live. What's up, GMA? Nice to see you. Holographer says what Eddie Howe said doesn't make any sense at all. How do you treasure your players by sending them home and not training? He is fit by Howe's own admission. What gives? That's what I'm saying. I find these quotes to be very, very strange, you know? And I think they could mean something. It's a bit speculative right now. I'm an Arsenal fan. Who's your favorite Arsenal player? Definitely Thierry Henry. He's one of my favorite non-Liverpool players. He's special. Yo, what's going on, Theo? What's good? Is Lucho interest still ongoing? Yes, Bayern are pushing hard for him, and it seems like Saudi really want him as well. Both. You're learning in Shanghai? Hey Leo, Elena, nice to see you. I'm so excited because my mom, we're going to Wicked for the third time. I mean, yeah, damn. Eddie Howe bottled it, says Troy King. Imagine. Bro, they also, I know it's just a friendly, but they lost 4-0 to Celtic. And they're really struggling to get their targets this summer. Again, another reason why Alexander Isak might not be happy with what's going on. He sees that Newcastle is struggling in the transfer market, whereas the team that really wants him are Premier League champions, and they've signed the likes of Florian Wirtz, Kirkaz, Frimpong. We're having the best window probably in the world. Like, rival fans are even saying it. So the fact that Alexander Isak is seeing that you can't tell me that's not even more so of a reason to want to join Liverpool Football Club. You know what I mean? Exactly. These quotes are confusing me a bit when he said how short is like retiring at 29 or 28. Exactly. And if he spoke about how his career is short, then that's a hint that means he would want to make the move away to a bigger club like Liverpool now, if that makes sense, you know? Andre says, just subscribe to your second channel. Don't usually comment, but watch the stream. Watch the streams. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Andre. Guys, I really appreciate those of you that subscribe to the second channel where I'm only going to be doing longer forms and they're going to be improving and improving. And every single day, I promise there's going to be a longer form video on there. So for those of you that show that support, it really, really means the world. I'm going to be putting out lots of content on that channel too. Trying long form for the first time, really. Leo, only word I know in Icelandic is hello and tak. Ah, okay. Where do you stay in Iceland? Which place is the best weather? France, of those three. But I live in France and I come to Iceland 2 to 3 months of the year. I'm sub to Leo's flows. Big up, James. Thank you. I decided to send him home due to all the speculation around him, bro. I find that to be so strange. There's no need to say it that way. You know what I mean? You sub to Ahmed. Thank you very much. Shout out to you, my brother. I used to live in Reykjavik. No way. For how long, Alyssa? What's going on with Isak? Theo, read these quotes. He wasn't part of... Just to give a quick rundown for those of you that have just arrived here. Your long-form video, Anfield was cold. Thank you, Liverpool. But that one is rare to be able to do because I'm not based in Liverpool and it took a lot of work behind the scenes to make it happen. So it's not the type of video I could consistently make, you know, whereas on this Leo's goals, it's classified. I pinned it in the chat, link to the second channel. It's called Leo's Goals Free Flow. That's the channel. There's already 2 long-form videos on there. I'm from a lot of places. My dad is half American, half Dutch, while my mom is half Icelandic, half American. Cool. I love mixes like that. Because Alyssa, I'm also a mix of different things, so I love that. And I lived in the US for 10 years too, so we have a lot in common. Caleb says, Leo, you're such a legend. That's coming from a City fan, and I'm subbed and have lots of respect for Liverpool. Caleb, you absolute legend. Look at, gosh. Leo, I like that your new channel is basically a summary of the lives and you tell us the key details, which is a good idea because I don't think people will watch your lives entirely due to work, etc. Exactly. Chess professional. And sometimes it's very focused on one subject that I think is on all of our minds. And I'm telling you guys, I'm going to be uploading there every single day. So for those of you that haven't, it really would mean a lot if you checked out that Leo's Goals Free Flow. Because like I said, I'm going to be doing daily long form videos on there. And it's going to be on a subject that I think is on all of our minds that day. You know what I mean? And it's going to be very focused on that subject, going more in depth, you know? Love from the US. Ram, where are you from in the US? But yeah, sorry. I wanted to give a rundown because you guys are saying what happened with Isak. So last night, Fabrizio Romano on his YouTube channel said that if Newcastle changed their mind, but they haven't changed their mind already, of course, and if they did decide to sell Alexander Isak, Liverpool are still open to that. They'll be ready to bid if Newcastle change their mind. Now, the fact that we haven't left our interest in Alexander Isak and moved on tells me that could be something left in that. That's number one. Now, today, Newcastle played a friendly against Celtic, okay? Everybody was looking out for that friendly. What was going to happen? Was Isak going to be in the squad? What was going to be the whole story around that? Because there's obviously been so much speculation around his future. Well, he wasn't part of the squad. He didn't even travel. And then so the report journalists around Newcastle were saying the reason he wasn't is because Newcastle are just being careful with his minutes, careful with his fitness, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. But now here's the part that's very strange and why I thought we should jump on a live and discuss it, because I just find it to be extremely strange, because Eddie Howe usually is someone that's very good with the media, and here it seems like his head's almost turned when you look at these quotes. So look, the initial quotes, and I'm pulling this on the screen for you guys. For those of you on TikTok, you should jump onto the YouTube Leo's Goals, because there I have it popped open, the actual quotes. I have it popped open on the stream, you guys, okay? So these are the quotes. When he was asked, and this was during a press conference after the game, he said, quote, "It was my decision to leave him out. I decided to send him home due to the speculation around him. The last thing he wanted is to be sat in the stands watching. That wasn't fair to him. But I'm confident he will be a Newcastle player come at the end of the season." And then later on as well, he said, quote, "Yes, I've had discussions with him on his future." When he was asked about his Newcastle future, he said, quote, "Yes, I've had discussions with him, but that's not abnormal. I respect a player's career and how short it is. Alex has been really good. He's trained really well, and I realized there'll be noise around him." Now, for me, the other part about this that I really don't understand is why would Eddie Howe come out and say, "I respect a player's career and how short it is"? Like, why are they discussing about his career being short when he's not an old player? Like, bro, Isak is 25. Yes, he's turning 26, but that's not old by any means. So why is he saying, "I respect a player's career and how short it is"? To me, that could say that Isak is not happy, that they rejected Liverpool's offer. And let's just put ourselves, again, I don't want to be too biased and I don't want to be disrespectful to Newcastle fans, because let me tell you something. I think what Newcastle have been doing the last few years is so respectable, and I think they're one of the most difficult teams to face in the Premier League. I think they deserve to get Champions League football last season. I think their project is very exciting, but I don't think you can compare it to Liverpool. And I'm not just saying that as a biased Liverpool fan, because listen, like I just said, I have so much respect for Newcastle, but look at the difference here. Liverpool are Premier League champions. Liverpool have best in the position players like Virgil van Dijk, like Alisson, like Mohamed Salah, right? You can't compare the two. And then you look at what Liverpool has done in the market this summer. We've gone and signed the most exciting player that could be signed this summer in Florian Wirtz. He rejected other big clubs to come to Liverpool because of the Adnislop project. We brought in the likes of Florian Wirtz, Kirkez, Frimpong. You're telling me that Alexander Isak's head isn't going to be turned by the potential of playing along those stars and playing around such a well-balanced team? Like I said, yes, in the attack, he's going to get to link up with the likes of Mohamed Salah and Florian Wirtz, who are two of the most creative players in world football. But for me, it's not just that. It's the squad as a whole. You look at a player like Gravenberch, you look at a player like Alexis McAllister, Szoboszlai, Virgil van Dijk, best in his position, Alisson, best in his position. That's what I mean. When I put myself in the position of Alexander Isak, I could understand how my head would start to turn. Okay? Again, that's me saying that with all due respect for Newcastle, because I respect a lot what they're doing and I think they are a really good team and an exciting project for the future. But do you guys get what I'm saying? Garve, big up, who's been a community support member for 17 months, you legend, who says, "I'd honestly be happy with any, but I'd like Isak." I think that's how most of us. Joe Mullen says, "I think all of Newcastle's heads are turned right now." Yeah, I know, right? The Newcastle fans are not happy. Could Rodrigo happen, Leo? Potentially. But first, I think he'd want to leave Real Madrid. And it seems like, from the reports that I'm seeing, it seems like, to me, it seems at least like he wants to stay at Real Madrid and see if he can continue there. So we don't know yet. JC says, "As long as Liverpool are not being held ransom, I'm happy with every player on our watch list. Our recruitment team is genius in identifying the right players. They won't disappoint." Exactly. I completely agree. That's why, for me too, if we decide to spend big on Ugo Ekitike, I would back it. Because, like you said, because of our recruitment team and those that are in charge behind the scenes. That's why, RT Akaya I met you outside Anfield the day before the parade. Shout out to you, Kaya. Hope you're doing well. Absolute ledge. Rodrigo says, hello, bro. This is the best LFC transfer window so far, and we're not done yet. Can't wait for the new season. Me too. Why did you name your last stream Thank You? Because I wanted to take a moment to thank all of you for the support and where we've gone with this channel and how unbelievable this journey has been so far. And I wanted to tell you guys as well that I created this second channel. For those of you in the building that haven't subscribed yet, it would mean a whole lot. It's pinned in the chat right now, the second channel. That's called Leo's Goals Free Flow. And in that one, I'm going to be putting out one long form video a day focusing on a subject. And the video today is actually on Alexander Isak. Go 12, big up, who's been a community support member for 19 freaking months, you legend, who says Ekitike is a class player and under slot he'd cook. I love that positivity I'm hearing about Ekitike because I've seen too much negativity otherwise. So big up, bro. Storsta, nice to see you in the building. What's good? Alyssa says, I used to live in Reykjavik for 3 years. Now I live in Amsterdam. Just moved there from Miami 2 months ago, but I just visit Reykjavik very often. That's sick, Alyssa. Wow. I love that international. Because I used to live in Reykjavik. I used to live in New York. I used to live in Paris. But now I'm living in Lille in France. Siddharth says, Leo, would you be happy if we only ended up with Ekitike and no further signings? I'm worried about the Konate situation. Siddharth, I would be happy with that if we also extended Ibu Konate. But that's the crucial part. If Ibu is leaving on a free and we didn't sign a center back on top of Ugo Ekitike, I wouldn't be happy because that position is so important. And we also sold, don't forget, we also sold Kwanzaa this window. So we need to bring in a center back. We need to. Need to. James says Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, and the team are cooking. Absolutely. Caleb says, how are we allowed to spend this much money without breaching PSR? So the reason why is because we spent nothing the last few windows. That's number one. And then number two, don't forget, we're going to have a lot of outgoings this summer. Already, we sold Kelleher, we sold Trent for money, we sold Kwanzaa for money, which is very good for PSR because all three of those players came from our academy, as in we got them for zero and we sold them for straight profit. So the 10 million we got, I believe we got about 10 million for Trent, 18 million for Kelleher, that's 28 million. We got about 30 million for Kwanzaa. So all combined, that's like 48 million. But what you must remember, Caleb, about PSR is it all depends on how much you bought the player for and then sold the player for. But because those three, for example, we all got for nothing, it's all positive profit, if that makes sense, in terms of the PSR. So that's plus 48 million, and we're going to have a lot more outgoings. I definitely think that Harvey, for example, is going to leave this summer. There's a very big chance of that. If Harvey leaves this summer, just to give another example, you guys, if Harvey leaves this summer, then that's a lot more, again, just pure positive profit in terms of PSR because we also got him for next to nothing when we got him from Fulham. So all of those different components means that we're actually in a very good financial position, and that's why we're able to spend so big this summer. You know what I mean? That's why. Weefa, Sunny, thank you again for the super chat, who says, might be my final stream before I go away. My bank account will be happy that I can't donate in foreign countries. Wait, where are you going, bro? Where are you going away to? LFC SA says it's complicated when a player wants to move, but a club doesn't want him to move. If he wants Liverpool and Newcastle prevents him, then that will demotivate him to play well for them. I hope we get him. I mean, I do think if he pushes for the move, they'll let him go this summer. And the reason I say that is because clearly we're willing to offer big money. And if they do accept that, it would put them in such a good position PSR wise, and they could reinvest that all over the squad because it's so much money. So I do think if he pushes it, that it would happen, that they would accept a bid. I'm real confident on that. Love your new channel. I think it's a great idea. Already subbed and following. Thank you, Ellis. Guys, I pinned in the chat the new channel for those of you that want to see longer form videos. Second channel. Have you ever been to Shanghai? No, I never have been. If I had to put my money right now, Benjamin, I would still put my money on us signing Ugo Kitike and not Alexander Isak, because Isak is a very difficult one to get over the line. Wang, I'm doing well. How are you? Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I said, if you ask for a transfer, that changes everything. That would be the big game changer. And I think there is some kind of chance of that happening. I do think so. You're going on holiday in a few days, Philippe. Where are you going on holidays? Alyssa says, Leo, could you make a video on the second channel about Luis Diaz to Bayern? Yes, I can. I'm going to go sub to your second channel. Thank you, Ram. Guys, for all of you that are subbing to the second channel, I really appreciate it. The more support you show on there, the more I'm going to be able to put into it. And I'm really excited because it's the start of a new journey. You guys know I've never really been consistent with the longer form on YouTube because it's always been daunting for me. It's always been scary. But with that second channel, it's my chance to learn and grow and hopefully do it consistently. That's the dream, because then it's possible to go more in depth, you know? That's really the dream. Hannah says, these are really strange comments for someone that's 100% certain of keeping. Exactly. And you're telling me, he also said the reason he stayed home, Hannah, and that he wasn't part of the squad is not a fitness issue. It's because of how much speculation there was around him. But bro, when you're a player of Isak's quality and stature, you're always going to have speculation. So how is that the reason that he's staying home? You know what I mean? That's what I don't understand. That's what I really don't understand. Yo, would you rather pay 130 million for Isak or 70 million for Ekitike? Since it's not money, no, since it's not my money, Liverpool forever, I'd rather spend 130 million on Isak. Because he would just perform from match week 1. You know what I mean? It's to me, it's exactly like us signing Kirkez. He's not going to need time to adapt because he knows what it's like to play in the Premier League. He knows every single team that's in the Premier League. And yes, he has to adapt to a new team, but it makes all the difference to know that that player is proven in that league. You have to pay a bonus for that, especially in the Premier League where there's the most amount of money. You know what I mean? Just thank you, Ramazhim. I appreciate you. He was in Austria. He flew home. And Jeff C says, do you think with all these new signings and outgoings, this will impact our team chemistry and balance when playing? I think it could take them some time to find their flow. But here's the thing, Ange FC. I think the most important part is the core leaders in the group have remained, except Trent. And that for me is what makes me confident that we will find a balance fast enough, because those leaders are the ones that are going to help the new players to adapt, right? And I'm talking about the likes of Alisson. I'm talking about Virgil van Dijk. I'm talking about Maka. He is a leader. You know, I'm talking about Mohamed Salah. There's so many players in our squad that are real leaders. Soboslai, you know, captains of their nation. Robbo might end up staying. He's a real leader that will really help that transition process for a lot of the new players, you know, and potentially new system. So that's what makes me confident, Ange FC, that we will be okay in that aspect. You know what I mean? Yo Bless says, I think Liverpool are spending big because they see a gap in England to dominate the league for years to come. I could see that too, because Pep Guardiola, I don't think he's going to stay for much longer. I could see him staying one more season and then going. And imagine what the league would be without Pep Guardiola. It would change a lot of things. It would change a whole lot of things. Alisson, Robbo, Absolute Muller, my brother. Aaron says, Alisson, Robbo, Van Dijk, Maka, Sobo, Salah. Exactly. Think about all those freaking leaders. Those are all captain material. And that's what I mean in the transition process. Keeping those players around is for me the most important thing. And we're going to do that. You know, now that, for example, now that the interest from Atletico Madrid has gone for Robbo and they've decided to sign another left back, I could see Robbo staying and being a mentor for Kirkez as well, and just keeping him as a leader for the group, you know. Storestat Edit says, yo, Leo, today's my last vacation day. How do you think about Sver? And I haven't seen him to City. And do you think can play for Liverpool in the future for Konate? Bro, that wonder kid from Norway, I used to sign him in football. I used to sign him in Football Manager. But Yeah, he seems like a crazy talent. It's unfortunate he's decided to go to City. Can you make a video on Rodrigo to Liverpool on your second channel? Liverpool number one, I could do a poll for the second channel to see what you guys would rather see as the next long form video. One on for tomorrow, one on Rodrigo, or one on Lucho. Maybe I could talk about Lucho in that too as well, actually. I could just involve the two if you guys like. Bro, Rodrigo will come for the Reds. Ronaldo hack, you really think so? That would be a crazy signing. Crazy summer. Should I get a Robbo or another Virgil jersey? Bro, you who knows a lot about German football, you should get a Wirtz jersey. Florian Wirtz, because he's going to be our next German sensation. Do you think Robbo could potentially become a center back option? No. I think the few times we saw him play at center back, I think the last time I remember him playing in a competitive game at center back, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember against PSV in the Champions League. This was the 8th match in the league stages of the Champions League. That game that we lost away at PSV, I'm pretty sure we played him at center back and he looked out of place that day. I know we made a lot of changes, but I don't think it makes sense to play him in such a different kind of role, you know? Joseph, no worries. Nice to see you in the building. Ricardo says, what do you think of Rashford to Barca? I'm excited to see how he gets on. You know, Barca is a team I love to watch under Hansi Flick. They play beautiful football, and I actually think because of the football they play, Rashford could get back to his best self. And if he does that, we know he's a baller because he has all the ability. It's just whether the team plays the right football, and what's for sure is United don't play the right football for getting him to be at his best. You know what I mean? I think Costas is on the selling list. I think Rain at this stage, there's a bigger chance Costas leaves rather than Robbo, because like I said, I think we're going to want to keep Robbo as a leader within this squad, you know? Yeah, Neil, exactly. I just don't think it makes sense. I've got some time to get one for Flo. First of all, I have decided between Robbo and Verge. Well, if you already have a Verge one, then I would get a Robbo one. You know what I mean? If you already have a Verge one. Mate, who would you like to stay, Robbo or Costas? I love both, bro. LFC fan, and it hurts to have to choose one, but I would choose Robbo for the reason we were just mentioning about before. Because there's so many players that are going to be leaving this summer and incomings that all the main leaders in the group we want to keep at the club, and Robbo's one of the main leaders. So for me, I want to keep him around. Caleb says, Robbo's the reason why I support Liverpool. It was because I'm Scottish and I found out he was the Scottish captain. Love that. Thank you, Meals. Axie says, I think Hansi Flick will transform Rashford. I agree. I could see him balling out for Hansi Flick. The way he's gone the best out of Rafinha and some other attackers tells me that he could get the best out of Rashford. You know, and if he does, we know Rashford can be a top player. Ariel says, wishing you all the success in the world with your new channel, Leo. Big love from Argentina. Thank you. Guys, for all of you that have subbed to the new channel, the second channel, I really appreciate you guys, because the more support you show on there, like I said, the more consistent I'll be on it and the more effort I can put into it. So I appreciate you guys so much. How much would you take for Diaz? Minimum 80 million, because he was our second best attacker last season. Costas is Atalanta's top target. Bro, I think Costas will leave this summer. Like I said before, I think there'll be a whole host of clubs interested. Joseph, sending my best to you. Go play football in the backyard. You'll never walk alone. Meals, Ajax don't want to sell Jorel Hato this summer though, and it seems like he's happy to stay there because he's starting week in, week out, so it's the best thing for his development. So I definitely don't think Jorel Hato, he's someone I wanted, but from what I've seen in the reports, it doesn't look like Johnny Heitinga wants to let him go this summer. So I don't see that one happening this summer. Potentially next summer, but not right now. If Lucho leaves, we're getting Rodrigo easily, bro. I don't know. It seems like he also wants to stay at Real Madrid. We'll have to see about that. We'll have to see about that. What if Isak turns out to be a Darwin? Nah, bro. Have you watched Isak play? Same with people comparing Hugo Ekitike to Darwin. Bro, they're such different players. You cannot compare them. You really can't. And Darwin, by the way, was not a Michael Edwards signing. That's very crucial to hear about. Peppa Pig? Oh, no way, Alyssa. Is your little brother a Liverpool fan too? Will the Hugo deal be done tomorrow? No, Theo. From what I see, it seems like we're trying to wrap it up by next week. So it won't be tomorrow. It'll be something that's more next week. You know? You know? Leo, we cannot sign Rodrigo. Why not? Do you think we'll have buyback clause for Harvey if he leaves? We have to. That it would be a big mistake not to do it. And we were able to do it in the Quonset deal. So why not do it for the Harvey deal too? You know what I mean? I think we will be able to do it. But that's another player. You guys were asking how come we're able to spend so much this summer? Because I think these three players could very well leave on top of the 48 million net profit we made on Kelleher, Quansah, and Trent. On top of that, I think we'll sell Harvey, who again we brought for next to nothing when he was 16 from Fulham, or maybe he was 17. Well, he was 16, 17. And now when we sell him this summer, there's many clubs interested. It looks like West Ham are the latest club that want to bid for him. Bro, I think we could get 40 to 50 million pounds for Harvey. Darwin, it looks like we're asking for around 60 million. I could see Saudi paying that. And then Lucho, we're asking for around 80 million. So when you add all those numbers up, you guys, it's going to be a big summer for us in terms of outgoings too. And I think people underestimate that when they see all the business we're doing this summer, they don't see all the outgoings. Your little bro supports Ajax. Ah, okay. Since he's in Amsterdam. Did you see that Isak was not with the squad? Yeah, bro, that's what we were talking about. Look, that's the quotes that I have popped open here. Big up full-time Reds. Nice to see you in the building. He showed you the new kit. Let's go. What do you think of the Ibu to Real Madrid rumors? Very worrying is what I think. Very worrying. And I say that because when Real Madrid seem to go for players, the heads turn very, very quickly. That's what's scary. Mikel says, I would die of excitement if we signed Isak. Holy moly. What a transfer window this would be. Bro, it would be the greatest transfer window of all time. I don't even care. Bro, listen to rival fans. Listen to what United, Arsenal fans think about the window we're already having. And it doesn't look like we're stopping anytime soon. I think it would be the greatest window. I'm not even kidding. Maybe Netherlands. Yeah, Alyssa, I don't know. Netherlands, it'll be tough. But I'm lucky because I'm support between France and Iceland, and France obviously has a crazy team, so I'm lucky in that aspect. Is Anfield sector trustworthy? I mean, these are just quotes from Eddie Howe. But yeah, Anfield sector, for me, I'm a fan of his. That's how I get a lot of the latest news is from Anfield sector. But these are just quotes from Eddie Howe. You know, these are things that he said after their preseason game today. That Newcastle lost 4-0 to Celtic, by the way. They lost 4-0. Mohammed says, hashtag free Isak. I can't believe I had the privilege to play sport. What sport did you play? Ibu was a big part in this Liverpool team. That's why we got to get him to extend. You know? Lots of growth. God damn, you guys are incredible. Guys, I appreciate all of you that have subbed to the second channel. Thank you. Noah Lard, Tyler Morn, I don't think is back from training either. Harvey Elliott, the reason he's not back is because he got extended holiday because he won the Euros with the U21 England U21s. So he had the internationals further along, if that makes sense. So that's why he's come back later. Ultimate Football says this is a perfect time to be alive. Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. Here we go. That's a big. I'm so curious to see how he's going to do, but I think Hansi Flick will get the best out of him, and I think Rashford will shine again at Barca this season. What's just crazy is the fact that next season in El Clasico we could see Rashford up against Trent playing right back and Rashford playing left wing. So all those years between Liverpool United, that was the head-to-head, and now it looks like it could happen again, but in the El Clasico. So, bro, you best believe next season we're going to do watch-alongs of the El Clasico because I'm going to be so curious to see how those go. So curious. You play cricket? That's sick. What are the chances? To be honest, I think it's a good thing for football in the Prem if Isak stays at Newcastle. Nah, bro, I want Liverpool to dominate world football. Are you kidding? No way. No way. Are you freaking kidding me? I want us to dominate. Leo, I just joined. Is there any chance we can have a quick recap? The Scout Spud, nice to see you. OG in the building. Yes, for those of you that are just joining now, here's a quick recap. So, last night, Fabrizio, he said this on YouTube. He said that Liverpool still haven't left the table for Alexander Isak. That doesn't mean that Newcastle want to sell. It just means Liverpool is basically ready to pounce and ready to bid, ready with the money in case Newcastle change their stance and are willing to sell Isak. And the only way I think that happens is if Isak's head is turned and he wants the Liverpool move. So now, that's the quick recap from last night. Now the main recap that was just recently, why we decided to do this live, is because, let me show you the initial quotes on screen. Let me know if you guys can see. But basically, the initial part is Eddie Howe after their friendly today. He wasn't part of the squad, and Eddie Howe was asked about Alexander Isak not playing, and he said, quote, "It was my decision. I decided to send him home due to the speculation around him. The last thing he wanted is to be sat in the stand watching. That wasn't fair to him, but I'm confident he will be a Newcastle player come the end of the season." Or come the start of the season, sorry. And then after he was asked about his future, and Eddie Howe, again, Newcastle's manager, said, "I've had discussions with him about his future, but that's not abnormal. I respect a player's career and how short it is. Alex has been really good. He's trained really well, and I realize there will be noise around him." Now, for me, this is the part I don't understand. Why is he saying that a player's career is short when Alexander Isak is just 25? You know what I mean? It's not like he's old and it's the final few years of his career, you know? So for me, these are just indications. So either Eddie Howe's head is just gone, but that's pretty telling too. But I think it could be a sign that Isak does want the Liverpool move. And we have to see now in the coming days what happens with that. But the fact that Newcastle have really struggled to get their targets this summer as well, I think is a sign too that maybe Isak wants to make that move to Liverpool. That's my personal prediction. You know, there's countless players this summer that Newcastle wanted to sign, and other players got those players ahead of them, and that's just, you know, for a player of Isak's caliber, is not a good sign as to where Newcastle is headed for this coming season. You know what I mean? So, I'm very curious to see how things move. A lot of moving pieces here. A lot of moving pieces. Yo, Liverpool Edits, nice to see you in the building. How's your day? Honestly, mine's going well. How's your day? Very well, bro. Thank you for asking. I just arrived in Iceland this week, and it's such a pleasure to be here. I love it so much. Bavisa says, "I don't care if we don't get Isak. Ekitike is a huge W." I agree, but I do care if we get Isak. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm from Love it. Could it be an option that we sign Isak and Ekitike? I think it can be an option. I think it can be. And the way I could see it being an option is if when we sell Lucho, we don't sign a left winger and instead we spend that money on Isak. The reason I say that is because we already have Cody Gakpo who can be a starting left winger. And on top of that, we have Chiesa who could play on the left. We have Rio Enma who could play on the left, who's an incredible talent. So we have options that could play on the left wing as a backup to Cody Gakpo. And that's why I think if it becomes an option, we could spend that Lucho money if he leaves, and it seems like he's going to leave this summer, we could spend it on Alexander Isak. Is why I think it's not impossible to think of a world where we get Ekitike and Alexander Isak. Bro, I don't think it's totally out of the question, even though very unlikely. I just up to the second channel. Thank you very much, guys. For those of you that are just in the building now, because I see some of you some of you guys just entered. I left it pinned in the comments. I decided to start a second channel where I start to do longer form videos. So for those of you that are interested, it would mean a whole lot if you subbed and showed your support on there. I'm going to be posting one long form video every single day on that channel. So big up to all of you. I appreciate you guys. The Scout Spud says, I think Isak's injury record is a bit worrying, but I feel Isak would be levels above Ekitike as he's more profound in front of goal and established in the Prem. Yep. And what you said with Isak's injury record, I understand, but you have to also think about Anislat's incredible track record of keeping his players fit. And I think we would put so many resources to basically making sure that he can stay fit, because we know that's one of the small risks with him. Otherwise, everything else, apart from that injury record, is not a risk, because he's just proven at that Premier League level. He's proven in the big games. Last season, think about the amount of times he, including Liverpool, bro, in the Carabao Cup final at St. James Park, that goal he scored, unbelievable, past Alisson. So, yeah, I think he's for me, he's the best striker in the league, Alexander Isak. And I know City fans are going to show me hate because they're going to say it's Erling Haaland. I would say Erling Haaland's the best goal scorer, but for me, the best striker overall is Alexander Isak, because he can do so much more than just score goals. But boy, can he score goals as well. You know what I mean? How much do you think we'll get for Lucho? I think 80 million. I think what we're going to say to Bayern Munich is, listen, if you bid something like a big sum of money, we'll accept it. But otherwise, we have Saudi who want him. And Saudi, we know how much money Saudi has. So I think we're going to get big money for Lucho if we sell him this summer. Otherwise, we're going to keep him. But I can see a club paying big money for him this summer, given how interested Bayern seem and given how interested Saudi seem. You know? What about Rodrigo? Isn't he linked to Liverpool? He is, but for me, not reliable enough links. Not reliable enough. So that's why we'll have to wait and see on that one. But it seems like what is reliable, it seems like he's going to have crunch talks in the coming days with Xabi Alonso to decide his future, to see whether he's going to be a starting player for Xabi Alonso this season or not. And if he's not, I think he will leave. Christopher, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Isak is the best striker. Haaland, best finisher. Yep. I truly believe that. Flame says, Leo, I've been loving the content, mate. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate you. I just subbed to your other channel. Thank you. I love my mom. Guys, for all of you in the building that have subbed to the second channel, I really appreciate you. Yes, I'm live on YouTube right now. Leo's Goals on YouTube. The only thing Haaland is the best at is scoring tap-ins. Nah, bro, come on. Come on. Liverpool doesn't have enough squad depth? Bro, we have squad depth. What are you talking about? There's just certain positions we don't have squad depth. Like, I definitely think we need to sign a center back. But think about other positions. Goalkeeper, we have Alisson Mamadashvili. Right back, we have Connor Bradley and Frimpong. Left back, we're going to have Kirkez and Robbo, hopefully. Defensive mid, we're going to have Gravenberch and Endo. Holding mid, we're going to have Maka and Soboslai. Number 10, we're going to have Verts, Soboslai. Left wing, we're going to have, right now, we have Cody Gakpo, Lucho. Let's see how that moves. Right wing, we have Salah and Chiesa. So I disagree that we don't have depth. Yes, like I said, center back we definitely need. But when you compare to some other clubs, I think we're in a very good position when you look at our overall team. Thank you, August Gaming. I appreciate you. Full-time Reds. The main tip I would give for a channel to grow is the most important thing is consistency, consistency, consistency. That's the hardest part. To put out content every single day. And I do think if you put out content every single day, it will improve over time because naturally you're just going to improve over that space of time. But being consistent is so difficult, and that's why most people aren't able to do that. But I would say the one key is consistency, consistency. Because there's going to be a lot of days where you don't want to do it or you're tired, but you still do it. And for me, that's the most important thing, you know? Because like I said, with consistency, I truly believe you improve. Like if I looked at, for example, the Instagram Liverpool goals that I started on the very first day, and I see now how much like the design side of things changed and so much else, that it's improved so much, you know? But it happened kind of slowly over time, but that came through consistency. You know, it really was that. What do you think will happen with Darwin now that Napoli won't sign him? I think Saudi will come knocking. I think that's what's going to happen. Connor Bradley says, Leo, if we sign Isak, my life would be complete. I know, right? Paul Kessie, I'm doing well. How are you, Paul? Can you play FC25? I stopped playing video games because I was too addicted. I had a real problem with addiction with video games. I had to stop. And Football Manager was even worse for me. I was even more addicted to Football Manager. James, I think it's too much pressure to say that Rio Anma is going to be the Lamine Yamal of Liverpool. I think no youngster can compare to Lamine Yamal. I don't think you can compare anyone right now. He's too good. He does it in the big games, in the biggest games. Think about what he did in the Champions League, in the El Clasico, how he steps up for Spain, and he's 18. No one compares to that. I'm sorry. Leo, any news on Stefan Bajcetic? He's cute. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Bajcetic. I hope he stays. His only problem for me... Yo, the Vicar, nice to see you in the building. Thank you for supporting on the second channel. I saw you in the building. Thank you. Isak is on the icing on the cake, bro. More than the icing on the cake. I think he makes the cake explode. Bro, come on. But what was I saying? Yeah, Bajcetic, the only concern with Bajcetic is the injuries he's been picking up. Otherwise, if you're talking about pure ability, he's incredible. And I would want him to stay and continue to develop. Could be triggering, but what was your favorite Football Manager? Bro, I loved all of them. Every single one of them. I played every year for 10 years. But let me tell you something. Joshua, just to tell you how bad my Football Manager addiction was, is just having the game was so dangerous. Like, I couldn't basically bear to have the game that I contacted Steam through the support system, and I asked them to delete my Steam account forever. And mind you, on that Steam account, I had like 10 Football Managers. I had a few other games on there. So that Steam account had lots of money that I'd spent over time in terms of games. I asked them, you have to delete it permanently because it's ruining my life. Like it's kind of like a joke, but it's not. Like, it went that bad. Like, it got that bad, you know? And I wouldn't do anything else when I started a stream, you know? Exactly. I played 10 years in a row, bro. Like, it was bad, my addiction. That's crazy. I know. It's bad, the addiction. And that's why I never touch drugs or anything like that too, because I was scared because of my I have like an addictive personality, I guess, you know? So I have to be really careful with anything. Same with like cigarettes. I never smoked cigarettes because of that reason. I was so scared that I would become crazy addicted like I was with Football Manager. Please get it done. Big up the Red Army. Nice to see you in the building. How are you doing, Red Army? I'll defo DM Bajcetic today or tomorrow. Well, I think he's getting married, so I'm not so sure. I'm really addictive too. Yeah, you got to be careful then. That thumbnail is going to keep me up at night. Why? Is the thumbnail that crazy? Wait, let me have a look at the thumbnail again. Is it that crazy? Oh God, it's the eyes that I'm making. I didn't realize I'm making those eyes. Oh God, I'm sorry. Oh God. Thank you, Ram is him. I appreciate your support. It means everything. I can't wait for the new season to start too. Are you addicted to creating content? Yes, I am. I am indeed. You probably would have seen that. You probably would have seen that. I'm addicted, but I love it, you know? It's funny. Will bro see me here? Bro, you're all over the place. You're all over the place. I was so addicted to FM, says Joshua, that I was thinking of my tactical approach while I was showering. Yep, that's what I mean. I would have dreams about my save. I know it sounds sad, but yeah, that's why I got rid of it. I love my mom says, Leo, I saw you at the Lask versus Liverpool game. Let's go. Big up. Was it inside the stadium or outside? The Red Army, thank you. Thank you, I'm glad, mate. Free Isak, make it your second. Free Isak, make it your second channel name. Today's your birthday, Crumpet Gamer. Happy birthday! I hope for your birthday somehow Isak forces the Liverpool move and we have the greatest summer in the history of football. Genuinely, guys. Okay, I have a question for you. Let's say in a theoretical world, in a dream world, if we got Alexander Isak, would it be the greatest summer ever? Because I think so. Kirkez, Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak. Would that be the greatest summer ever? I think even rival fans would say so. What do you guys think? Free Isak. Daniel says, Reds fan from Houston, Texas. Only world football team I follow. Greetings from the United States. Today is my birthday too. Daniel Hernandez, happy birthday to you. I hope you have the best freaking birthday. From Houston, Texas. I've never been to Houston, but I would want to go one day. I would want to go. I've been to Austin. But I've never been to Houston. Happy birthday, bro. I hope you have the best freaking day. And hopefully there's more Isak news for you on your B-Day. Edit7 says, I'm a Leeds fan and I agree it would be the best summer ever. Sheik says, as a City fan, you guys are going more than crazy. Please stop. Yeah, man. Alinus. Nice to see you in the building. Alinus. Why does he have a girlfriend? Yeah, Stefan Bajetic. He's had a girlfriend for a long while, Alyssa. I think it's not just a short. It's, yeah, for a while. But you know, he did respond to me on DM, I think, at one point. Not to flex on you, but I think he did. But he seems like a really nice guy. Let me see. No way he follows. Bro, I didn't realize. Alyssa, you're going to be jealous. He actually follows me on Instagram. Liverpool Goals. That's the Instagram. I didn't realize Bajetic actually followed. Crazy. But I did DM him at some point. Let me see. Yeah, look, I DM'd him saying, thank you for your fantastic season when you had that really great season. And he responded, just thanks, mate, with a heart. But you're my favorite. Big up football edits. What's up, Just Vibes from Barbados? You know, I've been to Barbados quite a few times and the people in Barbados are just the nicest. Are you like originally from Barbados or you're just living there now? Nah, I know. I didn't realize Bajetic followed. I'm buzzing about that because I forgot that he did. I feel like I did know from the past because he did respond in the DMs. Yo, AK Football Manager, nice to see you in the building. That was meant to be me. It's too late now. Too late now. He has a serious girlfriend. Wes, nice to see you. Alinas, how's your weekend been so far? Zach says, yo, Leo, it's sad I couldn't be in that thank you stream, but it's amazing how far you've come on the space of 2 years. Keep going, Leo. Also, Eddie Howe's comments really sound like Isak is leaving. Yeah, that's why we had to do this live, bro. But thank you, Zach. And you know you're an absolute OG in the building, and your support has meant the world. So big up, Zach. Thank you for those kind words. Absolute Muller says, we need Gehi too. I mean, we would have a problem if Ibu and Joe got injured completely. And with the fact Kwanzaa left as well. We're definitely going to sign a center back. That, I guarantee you guys, we're going to be signing a center back this summer. Whether it's Mark Gehi or not, I don't know. We'll have to see. Thank you, Jacob. God, you guys are the sweetest. I can't. Sigu says, hello from Greenland. You'll never walk alone. Where are you from in Greenland? It's my dream. Bro, it's my dream to visit Greenland. And it's not that far from Iceland. We got Noah from Copenhagen. Crumpet says, Leo, how's your day? I wish I could take a picture with you. My friends would be so jealous. And you're my favorite. You'll never walk alone. Crumpet Gamer, I hope I get to see you at a Liverpool game one day. And we can get that picture. You'll never walk alone. It is what it is. It's not likely for Isak, can't lie. I like to focus on what is likely. Ekitike is. Yeah, I mean, AK Football Manager, I will be buzzing over Ekitike. And let me be honest with you guys. For me, just the fact that he's French gives him like plus 10 bonus points. So when I become biased, I like to tell you guys openly, okay? Because everybody's going to have some level of bias, okay? No matter what. And I'll be honest with you guys, the fact that Ekitike is French makes me like him a lot more because I'm French too. And because if he does well for Liverpool, he would become the starting striker in the French national team and all of that. So I just know I would love him even more, just like I love Ibu Konate. So yeah, I got to be real with you guys. That's another reason why I definitely want Ekitike to join. Leo the Great says, I'm from Iceland. Let's go. You're from the most beautiful country in the world. Thank you, Alfie. I appreciate you. You guys are being so sweet in the building right now. Don't make me emotional right now. I was already feeling all the emotions yesterday. Ram says, Leo, if you were in Madrid, would you accept 350 million for Vinny? Of course I would. Bro, they have two players who are natural left wingers in Kylian Mbappe and Rodrigo. Both of them, their best position is on the left wing. So I would take that in a heartbeat. If it's an actual bid, I would take 350 million in a heartbeat. Vlad says, hello from Romania. Big up to all the Romanian Scousers. Garcia's my plan B. You should come to Brazil again. I would love to. I'm French. If you couldn't support Liverpool, who would you support? Probably Lille. Iceland is peaceful. That's exactly why I love it. I go on those daily walks. You guys are going to... For those of you that have seen the second channel, on those daily walks is when I filmed the... Where I filmed the long form video. Zach says, do you see any world where we sign Ekitike and Isak? Yes, I do. I do. But guys, unfortunately, I am going to have to go. But I'll end it on that because you asked that question. The way I see us signing both, only way I see us signing both is if we sell Darwin and Lucho, which would bring in major funds for us, and we don't sign a left winger. Instead, we sign those two strikers, Ekitike and Isak, if that makes sense. Because apparently one of the things we like about Ekitike is the fact that he's versatile, so maybe he could play on the left. But either way, we already have a starting left winger in Cody Gakpo, who's done very well under Arne Slot on that left wing. We also have Chiesa, who can play on the left wing. Rio Enma's coming through the academy. He's an incredible talent who can play on the left wing. And yeah, like I said, that's the way I could see it happening. If we use that Lucho money towards... We use, for example, that Lucho and Harvey money to get Isak. That's what I could see happening. That's what I could see. But yeah, you guys, that is going to be it. And warm in Iceland. Alinos, it's actually warm in Iceland right now. Like, it's not cold at all. So it's not bad. But yeah, you guys, unfortunately, I have to go. But it was so good to be in the building with you guys and have this chat around Alexander Isak and around life and around the window and everything else. Thank you to everybody in the building that's shown support already for that second channel, because I've already seen a lot of you guys on there and it means so much in the comments. I'm going to be getting back to every single of the comments on the video for those of you that show that love on Leo's Goals Free Flow. But yeah, you guys, I'm sure we'll be back on the live very, very soon. I said that to you guys after the live yesterday, but I'm sure things are going to continue to heat up. So I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your night. I know I'm going to be back live very, very soon. And so we can chat all things life, football, everything else. Charlotte says, your family loves being in slightly cold places. Lille and Iceland. To be fair, my family's in Lille, but yeah, Iceland, absolutely. But yeah, you guys, all the best. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Saturday. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. God, I'm too excited. I'm too excited. I just had a thought in my head that we're going to get next weekend. We're going to get to do a watch along for a Liverpool game and see Wirtz's debut for the AC Milan game. I can't wait. I'm too excited. But anyways, you guys, I need to calm down. I need to go outside for a little bit. But yeah, Elena, enjoy Wicked. Guys, I will see you very soon. Ciao.